work with me, you follow the rules. Rule number 1, you give me everything you've got. Rule number 2, then you give me more. And rule number 3, I make the rules.
Hello! Hayden Barton for the Batman Tradition. I'm back. I thought I would do I planned it as a week recap, but I'm actually at about, I think, close to 10 days now since my last video about the journaling like Bruce Wayne. Yeah, I just thought maybe a week insight to how it's going might be sort of interesting. Kind of, I decided that if one way I'm probably going to keep myself a little bit more accountable on this is if I have to post videos like this, because, you know, I could say I was doing it, but if I'm not posting about it or not updating anything about it, you know, there's just that little notch of accountability, right? But in my first video, I mentioned there's multiple layers to why I wanted to try this, of course, because of the Bruce Wayne influence and how many people kind of started gravitating towards that since seeing that Pattinson do it in the film. But it's something I've always kind of wanted to get into. I've tried to get into, and I've never really had much success about it other than a few, you know, consecutive days here or there. But just think right now too, I need something sort of to keep me a little bit more accountable, more on the right track, kind of remind myself of some things that I want to kind of strive towards, look forward to, or, you know, similar to like in the film, he writes down his thoughts, his opinions, what's going on in his days, his nights, and just kind of a thing that I try out. And I mentioned in the first one that I did I believe I mentioned some health ones, some personal ones, some sort of career ones, and it's kind of still staying on that track. I think the most beneficial thing I've noticed out of this so far is that, you know, you can think about something or be locked in on this mindset for a brief amount of time, and you feel so great or you feel so motivated, but eventually as you kind of let life unfold, you can kind of push it back a little bit, right? And that's normal, but this has kind of, to me, been another way for me to kind of recenter myself back to it or refresh myself and get back in that mindset of no matter what, you know, I'm trying to do. Like, one of the stupid health ones, but I wrote down I needed to drink more water. I needed to hydrate more. And I'm terrible at it. I still am not great at it. But I thought that was a simple one that is, one, going to be huge because obviously you need to stay hydrated. It's not the most difficult thing, but it is very important. And weirdly enough, just writing it down or having checks and balances of looking to see what I wrote down has really always started to make it on my mind, right? You know, I drink coffee like water and it should be the opposite, but I've kind of learned just from doing this that it is gradually getting better. And I'd encourage, you know, anyone who, you know, might see this or try to do it or be interested in doing it. Like I said, it can be the highest goals or thoughts that you have, or it could be the most minimal. Like I said, I have both. Some of the stupid health ones are just things I think I need to make more of a habit and make more consistent, so that can kind of, you know, the benefits can show, especially in health, because it takes some time. But then career-wise, I think in, like, from a life perspective, it kind of can just put you, like, I understand why in the film he does it after every night, because he always says they blend together, you know, and being able to write down what you were thinking about the day or where your head was at a particular minute or hour is a very interesting way to kind of look more inner towards, especially when you're reading it back, kind of where you were. Like, even if it's a long period of time, like I can't imagine people who read, you know, been doing this for years and read a journal that they wrote, you know, a year ago where they were at. But even now, kind of looking back, be like, wow, that's what I was thinking, you know, a couple days ago, right? Or that's where my head was at. Sometimes it's similar, sometimes it's a little different, but I think for a career aspect for me, it's a good way to keep thinking, because you can, and I have nothing wrong with my career. It's just, I don't always like to stay complacent and comfortable, because I always like to look for more opportunities. So it's just a good way, because it's easy to just sit in a rhythm of wake up, going to work, wake up, going to work, the whole spill. But to kind of keep reminding myself, like, hey, keep pushing, keep striving, keep trying to be better, right? It just gets me into more of a deeper, grounded and psychological aspect about those situations that when I'm just kind of going throughout my life, I don't necessarily think about, right? Because it's easy to kind of just get into the drifting motion of all that. But so far, I'm, keeping at it, doing all right, I think. This is just another one of those kind of habits or little details that I love about that film, and I kind of hope progressing forward we get more of that in films, whether it is with Pattinson or a cartoon, a video game, no matter what. We're taking details or aspects of all of those from the character of what we can, right? I don't try to limit myself to one particular version, actor, or film universe, right? We try to take it from all, because like I said, this channel's a celebration of the character, right? So some things are the typical aspects of celebrating merchandise, comic books, storylines, videos, trailer, the normal media, but I am trying to also find ways to kind of tap into different areas that aren't always talked about, that I'd like to see the company do more or the marketing team do more, that hopefully we can, right? But it's been going great so far. If anyone else happens to have ever seen one of these videos or wants to try it out, definitely recommend it. If y'all ever feel like commenting to let me know how yours is going, please do. But this has been Hayden Barton for the Batman Tradition. See ya.